And welcome to this special edition of Hannity. All right, so the magnitude of the mess that Joe Biden left behind and how President Trump is now having a clean house, well, I want to be really crystal clear about one thing. The sheer volume and extent of the unmitigated disasters that President Trump inherited, it's almost unthinkable. The economy in a complete state of shambles, massive inflation, prices up 20%, gas prices through the roof. Growth was next to nothing. Few private sector jobs were being created. Wages stagnant, consumer debt through the roof, American industry gutted, interest rates tripled. And the border, we endured a record level of illegal immigration, anywhere from 12 to 20, nobody knows the exact number, in just 4 years, including, let's see, known terrorists. We have, Iranian assassination squads. We have gang members, cartel members, human traffickers, drug traffickers. We have murderers. We have rapists. We have other violent criminals in this country, all operating inside our country with virtually no fear of deportation under Joe Biden. Overseas, Biden failed to prevent costly new wars on not one but two continents. No one respected, nobody feared the U.S. after the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Our relationship with our allies in the Middle East was in shambles. Everybody worldwide knew he was a cognitive mess. China operating with impunity, including, over our own airspace. Remember the spy balloon? And back at home, we had virulent anti-Semitism, extremism from Biden's own base of his party. That was on the rise. From college campuses to the halls of Congress, President Trump came within a millimeter of losing his life to an assassin and another would-be assassin later. And meanwhile, college campuses, they became nothing but hotbeds of bigotry, woke politics, infiltrating every part of American life, including our military and our schools. And let's not forget about the out-of-control bureaucracy that waged a campaign of lawfare, censorship against Trump, his supporters, while also wasting billions and billions of your dollars on broadband internet that failed to connect anyone and to anything, and charging stations that were never built. And we spent billions on that and a slew of other bizarre left-wing projects, both at home and all over the world. Oh, and if they had their way, they would pick the car in your driveway. They would take away your gas stove. They would take away your plastic straws. They would take away your air conditioner. They would take away your refrigerator. So much for the pro-choice party. And as you can see, Trump is also facing the challenge of a lifetime. But tonight, despite all of the noise, all of the hysteria, all the doom, the gloom predictions from the left, well, we are seeing massive progress. President Trump is fixing the country. Look at one item. Look at the economy. Trump slashing regulations, unchained American oil and gas industry so America can aspire to energy dominance. That'll make us rich. A lot of high-paying career jobs for people. And, of course, President Trump halting Biden's expansion of government and the bureaucracy. And now, look at the results. Take a look.
It's really exciting overall. And look, the real story here is the government jobs are down and the small business economy is growing and the private economy is growing. This is exactly what Donald Trump wanted to do. We're inversing everything that Biden had done.
If we look at the earnings from a month-over-month perspective, it comes in up 0.4, much better than expected. We were looking for up 0.3.
This is the third jobs day beat in a row, right? The third time the president beat expectations in a row. He's created over 500,000 jobs since he was inaugurated, and that's while cutting the federal workforce by 50,000 jobs, thanks to efforts to trim waste, fraud, and abuse.
And amazingly, the very respected Atlanta Fed this week says they're projecting 4.6% growth for the second quarter. Now, for the third month in a row, the jobs report outpacing expectations, 140,000 new jobs in the month of May. Now, keep in mind, those are private sector jobs filled by American workers. That is the direct opposite of what we saw under Biden. That's not all. Hourly earnings for Americans up a significant 4%. That helps against inflation that Biden created. And amid Donald Trump's tariff negotiations, inflation went down. Went down to 2.1%. right where the Fed likes it. Maybe Jerome Powell will get off his duff and maybe he'll drop a full basis point and get the economy moving, which every other country has done. And get this, the U.S. trade deficit narrowed by a record amount. And by the way, revenues from tariffs the last 2 months, close to $50 billion. Incredible news. The president hasn't even been in office 6 months. And that's not all. Border security, a tremendous success for the president, probably his most obvious success. We're going to have a lot more on that with Stephen Miller. But look at these statistics. Border crossings remain at record lows. ICE just broke an arrest record 2 days in a row under Trump's new immigration directives. Violent crime is also way down under Trump, including New York City, Chicago, even Baltimore, where woke politics have been pushed to the side, while police are now beginning once again to abandon, defund, dismantle no bail laws and lock up career criminals and conduct all over the country routine street patrols. Oh, policing works. And through new executive actions, President Trump is also forcing schools to ditch their own woke policies. And also he's protecting women's sports in Title IX. And today, of all days, on the anniversary of D-Day, it is important to note that under Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth's leadership, woke politics, they are kicked out of our military. Instead, now the military is solely focused on war and fighting and protecting our country and liberty and freedom. As a result, the Biden-era recruiting woes, they are now over. Recruitment in every single branch in the military is now surging. Incredible progress in less than 6 months. Of course, the work is far from over. The president inherited a disaster. Under, the president's leadership, the country, thankfully, is beginning to recover from these last 4 years. The dark days of the cognitively impaired Biden are over, and soon we could be headed for that golden age of America that the president talks about. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.